Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing the off-Broadway production of Angry Allen, written by Penelope Skinner, created with Don MacKay, and directed by Sam Gold, running through August 3rd at Studio Seaview at 305 West 43rd Street in New York City. Hop on over to my Patreon page, where you can get some extras that you might enjoy for as little as $1 a month. And you can support this channel and my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee. Your contribution gives you early access to the latest episode of the podcast, as well as casual quick reviews for shows before they get posted here. At the time of this recording, you also get early access to my interview with TheaterWorks Hartford's artistic director, Rob Ruggiero. Thank you to my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. Links to my Patreon podcast pages are in the description. John Krasinski shines in this darkly tragic play about Roger, played by Krasinski, a man who, during casual browsing online, falls into the toxic world of conspiracy that permeates the internet. Roger lives with his girlfriend Courtney, who has started taking community college art classes and has become more empowered in her liberalism. He has a son, Joe, played by Ryan Colone, who he rarely sees, and who is living with Roger's ex-wife. When browsing online, Roger stumbles down a rabbit hole of propaganda until he discovers a YouTube channel called Angry Allen, an ultra-conservative advocate for pro-masculine rhetoric. On the surface, it seems positive, and Roger gets a quick boost of self-confidence as he attempts to reconnect with Joe, but as he gets sucked further into the grift that is Angry Allen, he becomes indoctrinated in the misogynistic world of rampant online toxic masculinity, endangering his relationships with the people around him. Angry Allen was a hard watch for me, and that may have to do with some degree with me being a straight white male, viewing this as a there but for the grace of God go I experience. A portion of my life, which were my last few years of high school growing up in Arizona and my first stint of college in Kansas, there was a strong influence of toxic male dominance around me. And I know that if I maintained my immersion in that world, my life would be far worse off and not too dissimilar of where Roger goes in this story. So when I say Angry Allen is a hard watch, it's knowing that I could easily have become Roger, and also that I know people from my past who are still trapped in that world. Roger gets sucked into the bigoted culture, getting caught up in the grift that is common with it as he starts sending money to Angry Allen, and then gets entangled in its web of viewing the world from the view that they, that is, men, are the real victims and that the problems with the world are everyone else's fault. Everything comes to a climax when Joe comes to visit with an unexpected announcement. Krasinski has come a long way from The Office. If you've seen some of his work between then and now, you can see that development, and he is superb here. With the sweet tenderness of a man who thinks he's doing the right thing, coupled with the deep-rooted anger of someone who has received what he feels are his share of injustices and looking to pass the blame where it is convenient for him to do so. That charm and anger blends in waves as one comes forward and then is swept over by the other. The waves become stronger as the play progresses, presenting a profound paranoia that starts to blister and fester as what was once perceived as charm becomes neurotic. There are moments like, for example, when he is told a sexist joke, we get a brief glimpse of him struggling with it, knowing in his gut that it is wrong, but feeling welcome in a culture, regardless of its toxicity, washes away his misgivings. There are excellent moments like this throughout the play. They're quick, subtle, and easy to miss, but if you're paying attention to his performance, you'll find some beautiful nuance. Ryan Colone is only on for one scene as Joe, and it is the only scene with another actor on stage with Krasinski. I won't go much into it at the risk of spoilers, but it is a brutally sad scene, and Colone does a good job of keeping Joe's vulnerability tempered enough to keep the audience's hope going. Dots has produced a great scenic design. The rotating set focuses on two primary scenes, Roger's living room and a conference room where Roger attends an Angry Allen convention. The raked set that shrinks quickly upstage gives the production a sense of making Krasinski, who is already 6'3", seem even taller. The illusion of it all, though, also gives a sense of tunnel vision and collapse, and the narrowing of Roger's world and worldview. Penelope Skinner's Angry Allen is a sobering look at the listless world that many men live in across this country from the perspective of someone who falls into the trap of feeling like there's something more to be found in the comfort of men who feel similarly but act out in the worst of ways. As we watch the decline of Roger, Skinner makes us aware of the issues around Roger that make him vulnerable, like his feelings of exclusion by Courtney, or his inability to take responsibility for his actions, or the over-expectation that can be pressured on a boy when growing up by his parents. I think this is the most important part of the play, not Roger's fall, but the ancillary things that present as the cause of that fall, and how we can work to avoid that. These are the things that we as a universal people need to take into account to protect each other so that others don't fall prey to the same predators that are online like Angry Alan. By the time people like Angry Alan get their fingers in people like Roger, it may be too late. Go see Angry Alan. It may be hard, but it is a very important watch. But I am only one man's opinion, so leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Angry Alan, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be links to my Patreon and podcast pages and my social media handles where you can follow and support my work. You can also support me by liking and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the off-Broadway production of Heathers the Musical. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.